Hello everyone, so today we're going to pick up and look at how to do a one sample z-test in Excel. I'll show you two different ways based on the normal calculation based on the formula itself, which you can see here, and another one of a workaround through the data analysis toolpack that Excel provides. Here in front of you, the spreadsheet, and this sheet in particular, this tab, is the UCR 2018 Table 8 data reduced to only cities in Arkansas, so I copy and pasted this. So if you've watched a prior video, same data set, just reduced to Arkansas specific, has a population and part 1 crimes for it. All I did in the next tab for ag assault was keep the city, population, and ag assault. So here's where we're going to work with the data. For those of you who need a reminder, I did calculate the ag assault rate per 10,000 residents. So I took the count, divide by the population, then times by 10,000 to give us a crime rate here in ag assault rate per 10,000. You can also see if you look at the population, it's in descending order from population with Little Rock at the top. Now I went ahead and did that just for this example today, the walkthrough today itself. So with that, say we're interested in cities that have over 20,000 population, so 20,000 residents themselves. We're interested to see if those cities have a different ag assault rate than all cities reporting in Arkansas. So we have both the population and we have a subset of cities. So with that, what I always recommend doing when you have a new data set is you want to identify your sample. So here it's going to be cities that have a population over 20,000, so over 20K. Since it's already in descending order, I'm going to hit 1 and then just copy this down until it stops with Bryant. For those of you who are familiar with Arkansas, Bryant's just south of Little Rock itself. And then for the rest of them, I can go ahead and just autofill a 0 all the way down to finish it out. So we now have a dummy measure for cities with over 100 or 20,000 people. So with that, if we're looking at our one sample z-test, so we have our group, which are cities with 20,000 residents or more within Little Rock. So we have our sample mean, we have our population mean over the population standard deviation, and the square root of our sample size. So here I'm just going to write all of that out so we know what we're calculating. So we have our population mean, population standard deviation, and I'm going to jump down and do sample mean and sample size, which we'll then use in the numerator, denominator, and our z-value itself. So keep in mind that we have all the information in front of us, it's just calculating it correctly. And again, keep in mind that I did already input the z-table, so if we were interested in understanding the confidence around, say, 0.05 or 0.01, how confident are we that this is a significant finding and not by chance that we can reject or fail to reject the null hypothesis, we still come and locate our critical value and compare that to our obtained value, the z-value here that we're calculating. So with that, let's go ahead and calculate these here. A lot of this should be refreshers, so the average here for our population. Again, I'm going to hold down Control, hit Shift, and then the down arrow, which highlights all the cells for us. Close off the parentheses, and we get the population mean of 33.07 ag assaults per 10,000 residents. For standard deviation, go ahead and use the standard deviation formula. And again, we have 171 different cities. Here we get 32.0089, so I'm going to go ahead and reduce that to 32.01. With that, now we have our sample. So we understand here that it goes down to Bryant. So if we are interested in our sample, again, we're just going to calculate our average here. Highlight those down to Bryant. There we are. Close it. We get 51.06. So already we see that the sample mean has a higher average than the population mean. So what we're interested in, why we're using the one sample z-test, is to identify, is that significantly different? So with that, we still need the sample size. So here, and some of you might be new to this, so there's another function just called count, and we can use that, and we're just going to highlight the same cells and it's just going to count these up for us. And with that, it's going to be 21 different cities. So this is our sample size. So you can see here we now have our sample mean, we have our population mean, we have our population standard deviation, and we have our sample size. So we have everything we need to calculate our z value. So the part now is, so this is going to be our z obtained. We need to identify our critical value related to our z table. So say we're interested in using our pretty much the golden standard of being 95% confident that our findings are not by chance. With that, with the research hypothesis being non-directional, it's going to be two tails, so we just expect there to be difference, inequality between our sample cities compared to all of the cities in Arkansas. We're not saying higher than or lower, we just expect a difference itself. So with that and a two tail, if remember we're looking at 5%, we want to cut that in half since we're looking at both tails of the distribution, and so it could be negative, it could be positive. So we're looking at 0.025 on either side. So if we go to 1.09, what is it? Where is it? 1.96? We get here, we have 0.025, so that gives us our negative value. Keep in mind, if you just take away the negative and went to the positive 1.96 over here, we see 97 or 0.9750. Keep in mind, this is always what's to the left of it in the distribution. So to the right, we would still have 0.025, which would complete the 100%. So our values are plus minus 1.96. So if we come back here, it's going to be plus minus 1.96. So that's the value we're trying to get above in either direction, so we're further into the tails to identify a significant difference. So let's get to calculating. So the numerator for the one sample z test is the sample mean, so 51.06. Subtract the population mean from that, 17.99. So our denominator, also known as the standard error of the mean, we're going to take our population standard deviation and divide the square root of the sample size from that. So here we're going to have our population standard deviation of 32.01 divide by the square root of our sample size, which is 21. Hit enter and we get 6.98. I'm going to just reduce the decimal places there. So now we have our numerator and denominator. So we're just going to take the 17.99 and divide 6.98 from that. And here we get a value of 2.575, to be consistent, 2.58. So now that we see there is a significant difference between the sample mean and the population mean. So with that, the value obtained, the z value, is greater than the positive 1.96. Even though it deleted it from that formula. There we go. Oops, sorry about that. It's getting rid of it for me, but remember that it can be plus minus 1.96. There we go. Plus or minus as a note. So with that, our value is further into the tail, signifying that we can reject the null hypothesis that there is not equality, there is inequality, and there's a significant difference between our sample of cities, so cities with over 20,000 residents, and all cities in Arkansas with the ag assault rate per 10,000. We can also say that there's less than 5% chance that this finding of the significance is by random chance itself when we used our 0.05 critical value, so the 1.96 and the z table with that. So there's always chance for us being wrong and random chance to occur. We try to reduce that and reduce type 1 error with our critical value itself. So again, we could increase our critical value to being 1%, so there's less than 1% probability that the difference was by random chance. We'll get into an example of that when we're doing it within the data analysis tab to compare the two different versions of that. So again, this is how you would work through it with the equation. Now, there is a way to do it within Excel in the Data Analysis Tool Pack under Data, and hopefully you've gone ahead and added this in. So with that, and getting ahead because I know what the formula needs within the Data Analysis Tool Pack, we're going to be using the z-test at the bottom of this, and it's going to be the two sample for means. So before we do that, there's a couple things that we need to do so we can use that formula itself. It's going to need the population variance. So again, remember we have the standard deviation, so all we have to do is square that or multiply it by itself times 32.01 to get our variance. And we also need to repeat the mean across those. So pop mean of 33.07 for the same 21 cities with a population over 20,000. So here, just repeating that value through it. So now that we've updated that and we have our two items that we need, we can go ahead and use the data analysis function within Excel. So again, z-test two sample for means, and I hit OK. So variable one range, this is the sample that we have, so our cities here, so I'm going to highlight, including the label, the 21 cities, so we have D1 to D22. And then for the variable range, we're going to do the same, but with the population mean here. So here, it's the same one here, and this is a workaround to get this to work with the two sample one. So our variable variance, if the known part we want, it has to be greater than 0, it has to have a value. So we're going to make it as small as we can, but still not equal to 0. And the variance here for the variable 2, which is our population that is known, it's our 1024.64. And keep in mind that we do have labels. We did highlight population mean and the ag assault rate per 10,000 here. So that's all we're saying there with that checked. Alpha here is our critical value, so it's going to pull that for us. So again, we're going to use 0.05, and hopefully we get the same values that we get here. So with that output range, I'm going to go ahead and select just having it right next to it. And then let's hit OK. So once we calculate that and let it go, you can see here that we still get our mean, which is the same across each. And let me go ahead and reduce these decimal places. There we go. So 5106 is our sample mean, 21 observations, a z obtain of 2.58, which matches here. And again, our critical value for to reject or fail to reject the null hypothesis is 1.96. Remember, we're non-directional, so here we're interested in the two tail. With that, our obtained value, so our z here, is greater than our critical value, identifying a significant difference in the means. So our sample mean is significantly different than the population mean. Now, what if we're interested in reducing our type 1 error and increasing the alpha, or with that the critical value, so it can be 99% confidence that the probability is not by chance itself? We can keep this the same, so we'll go into the data analysis tool. All we're going to do here is change the alpha value to 0.01. Again, remember, since we're looking at two tail, it's going to split that in half again for us. Oops, I forgot to overwrite. So it just wrote it for us. So I'm just going to pull this back so we can compare the two. And this one's just going to go right there to L18. So we have 0.05 in the bottom and 0.01 at the top. So again, I'm going to reduce the decimal places. If it lets me, there we go. Do the same with the one that we already ran. So here we see, even when we increase the critical value to being 99% confident, less than 1% probability that the difference was by random chance, we do see that the values are equal to each other at the 99% level, so the 0.01 versus the 95. So we see a difference there, and that allows us to reject or fail to reject the null hypothesis. Again, keep in mind we want a value greater than that. So remember, this was rounding, so at the 99% level, so to be 99% confident. With the rounding, they're equal, but knowing if we just went back and changed this, we would say that we fail to reject the null hypothesis at the 99% confidence level. So our critical value here of 2.58 is greater than our obtained value of 2.575 within that. So at the 95% level, with 5% probability that the difference is by random chance, we can reject the null hypothesis and conclude that the mean ag assault rate per 10,000 residents for the Arkansas cities is significantly different than the population mean ag assault rate per 10,000. When we change that to reduce our type 1 error, we do see a change in the interpretation of that to where we fail to reject at the 99% confidence level with that. So keep in mind when we're using the data analysis part of the Excel add-in tool pack, we did have to change what we were putting in both for the population itself, so our variable range 2, since this was built for 2 sample of means, we're still forcing it to be the population for the second one and saying the variance here is not equal to 0 but very small there. As you can see, we get the same values when it's run at the 0.05 level, comparing it to when we did it by formulas within Excel to the data analysis add-in tool pack version. If there are questions, please reach out to me. If not, cheers. See you at the next one.